Welcome to the Mission Driven Leader, presented by TaleoConnects.com, where we explore the new, unknown, and innovative themes for work and give people the ability to show up resilient every day. Here are your hosts, former Chief Knowledge Officer of NASA, Ed Hoffman, and partner and Vice President of Portfolio Management at Taleo, Laurel Sim.
Well, welcome back to the Mission Driven Leader podcast. And I can't tell you how much fun we had this first season. And so we thought, why not do a recap? Because we had some amazing guests, didn't we, Ed?
Outstanding. Fantastic. Yeah. I mean, I still haven't left this seat. I've been so excited.
Well, you are a pretty energizing guy, that's for sure. So what I thought would be fun is put you on the spot, and I'll talk about each of our past guests. And what I want you to do is give me one word, just one word to describe them. It's going to be so much fun. Aren't you excited? Wow. Aren't you happy that I'm doing this?
Not really, because this is where I can look like a fool again.
Yeah. You probably will, but that's okay, because there's other talents you have, so it's okay.
All right.
Okay.
Well, whenever you're ready to go, I can start with one word for you.
Oh,
okay.
My. Maybe we'll save that for the end.
We'll save that. Yeah, we'll save that.
Okay. So if you'll recall, our very first guest was Madeline Blair. Madeline Blair's a good friend of yours.
Love.
Fantastic. That's your word, is love.
Love.
Yeah.
I love Madeline. Madeline is one of the people, I spoke to her, well, we speak pretty much every week, but one of the things I said is, I like to do things with Madeline just because I love it. Yeah. I have fun with it. I don't have objectives. I don't have outcomes I'm looking for. I don't have OKRs or any of that stuff. I just like to be in her presence.
Yeah.
Which is truthfully how I feel about you as well.
Oh, you just stop it, you little flirt.
No, I mean that positively.
I know. I was joking. It's okay.
Okay.
I'm not
Okay.
offended.
Right. Okay, good.
The inclusion and diversity is further down, so we're fine. But my word for Madeline is brighten, and it's very similar to you. Like, she brightens my world a little bit. She makes things a little bit more in perspective, enjoyable. So yeah, that's Madeline.
Yeah.
We love you, and you brighten our world. So that's fantastic.
Absolutely.
All right.
Definitely.
Our second guest, he was a real spitfire. If you'll recall, his name was Jason Greger. He's a TSN host of his own show.
My buddy.
Yeah.
My friend. Yeah.
What's the one word for him?
Rangers.
He is not a Rangers fan. You can't even.
I think he is.
No.
We spoke offline, and he acknowledged that his favorite hockey team is the Rangers.
No.
He asked me to wear a Rangers jersey on that day.
No. Yeah. So that's the word you're going to stay with? Rangers? Yuck. Are you going to change it? Are you?
No, you can't make me change it. It's a good name. When else am I going to be able to, on a podcast, use the word Rangers?
That part's true. That part's
But
true.
actually, no, I mean, truthfully, when we were having this great discussion, Jason's this cool guy. He does one of the things I would love to do. He's involved in sports and presenting himself and all this kinds of cool things. And so I remember I dressed up for him in a Rangers shirt.
Yeah.
We had a good discussion.
You really dressed up fine. That was beautiful that day. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Ugly jersey shirt thingy. Yeah. Well, my word for Jason is fiery. Like, he will tell you exactly what he thinks, exactly when he's thinking it. And he doesn't hold back. And I have a lot of respect for that as a consultant. There are times that I hold back what I really want to say because it's not the right time. And he's always in it to win it. So he's my fiery guy. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I see that too, because he brings it. And in the conversation, one of the things I liked about that one is he did say things that mattered to him.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, our next person is Daryl Boyle. He was the hockey player in Germany, a Canadian guy. Yeah. Isn't he amazing? Yeah. What's your one word for him?
Courageous.
Courageous. That's actually really a great word. Going to another country, playing hockey, not knowing the language.
Yeah.
My
I mean, in very, very early years, I was a hockey guy, but then I had setbacks and I got away from it. That's what got me into projects and learning and all that kind of stuff. But but he dealt with something. He had a dream, right? The Olympics and hockey, and he got it.
Yeah,
He
he
made it
went
happen.
after
He's a
it.
courageous guy.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say my word for him is genuine. Like, you couldn't get him to say a bad word about anybody. And I've tried over the years. Like, I've tried pretty hard, and he won't say nothing bad about me, even though I probably deserve it.
I think I just heard your Canadian accent.
Oh, which time? What word?
Genuine.
Genuine.
Isn't genuine
Genuine. How do you say it?
Genuine.
Oh, I like wine though, so I throw
right?
genuine in, and it makes me feel even better.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
I like that better. I'm going to start saying genuine.
That sounds good. Okay. All right. Our next person was Jessica Fox. As you know, she's a producer, fantastic woman that moved over to Ireland. Just a hell of a gal. Yeah. What's the word for her?
So many words. Vibrant.
Vibrant.
I've known her for many, many years. She always brings a vivaciousness.
Yeah.
There's an energy there. There's she makes me think of like a Lucille Ball. I can see her starting a studio or a program, being involved in movies, the hardest projects, right? Because of the gig nature of it. So but I think of vibrant or vivacious.
Yeah. Mine is my word for her is kind and humble. Actually, I'm going to change it to humble. Is it okay that I change it to humble?
No, you got to go with your first reaction.
Okay, kind and humble. There we go. She's just so lovely and doesn't even have a clue how successful she is, how kind she is. Like, I fell in love with her within 10 minutes. She's amazing. Her story, what she's accomplished already, is amazing. And she's getting all of these accolades for her movie right now, which is just fantastic. Yeah.
Another word I would use heart for her also. Heart. If I could use the second word.
Yeah. Well, you didn't give me a second word, so you don't get a second word.
Okay.
All right. Heather Nettowin. She's a Canadian curling champion. Her husband is a Canadian curling champion, and her daughter is a Canadian curling champion already, and she's only 16. So Heather Nettowin.
Champion.
Yeah, that's a great word.
In so many ways, obviously in terms of curling, which I love that sport. That is it's one of my...
You're such a liar.
No, I do.
Oh,
I don't know why you always laugh at me when I said it. But you know what? During that conversation, I remember the discussion and learning about curling and the commitment to that and what it takes to compete, but also, being a mother and being a spouse and having to, not having to, but taking care of a family and, teenagers and all this kind of stuff. I thought that this is a champion that I felt privileged to be in her presence.
Yeah.
Again, kind of like I feel when I'm talking to you.
You keep just buttering me up. It's perfect. My word for her is a realist. I found that whenever I'm talking to her, she's in the moment, in it to win it, really, really aware of what's going on and okay with where things are at, right? Like, just how do we step forward? How do I move forward? And she just, realist. All right.
Absolutely.
Your good friend and book colleague, Matthew, I always pronounce his last name wrong. Kohut? Okay.
Kohut.
I know I always pronounce it wrong. Sorry, Matt. Sorry. Matt Kohut. What's your one word for him?
Wow, so many words that can come up. I've known him for so long. He's my mind reader. He is, when I started working with him at NASA, the thing I loved about him, I tend to get, as you know, scattered. I go in different directions. I have different ideas to the point where I can confuse myself of what am I trying to say. Matt was the guy who he always knew, what I was going to do, what I was trying to articulate. He would clarify things. So there's a mind reader aspect to it. There's a genuine aspect to Matt. There's a warmth to Matt. Dear friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I found him very thoughtful. That's my word for him.
Yeah.
He was really listening closely to the questions that I would ask, and you could tell that he was consuming every part of the thought and coming back with something that was truly thoughtful, that was there to help make sense and step something forward. So yeah, thoughtful it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Good word. Yeah.
Next is also your colleague for your book, The Smart Mission, which was on the bestseller list, by the way. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Is Lawrence Prusak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Larry. So my word for Larry?
Yeah, Larry.
Rabbi. He's my rabbi. I always say he was like a father to me, like a rabbi, like a friend, I told him, he always gets embarrassed by this, but Larry was the guy I wanted to grow up to be.
I could
when
see
I first
that,
met him. I mean, he's cool, he's smart, he's got examples, stories of everything, he engages beautifully with people. But he's been, for me, many things. But I'd say he's been like my rabbi. He's my spiritual advisor, and
he's your Yoda.
Sense of wisdom.
Your Yoda.
He's my Yoda.
Yeah.
Yoda would be a good word.
I like it.
Is that the one you're going to use?
No, because I haven't known him long enough for him to be my Yoda. But my word.
Who is your Yoda? We'll save that for some other time.
Another day, another topic.
Okay.
I just find him brilliant. My word for him is brilliant, and he'd be so humble that he wouldn't want to even hear that word in his sentence. But he's got so much experience, and the stories of which he can tell from around the world it impresses me ongoing, and I can't wait to have another podcast with him. So brilliant. All right, our last guest was CJ Gross. If you'll recall, he was a diversity and inclusion guy. And just to me, he just brightens my day when I talk to him. So what's your word for him?
I was going to say name, because I changed my name while we were talking together. He was CJ, so I became EJ. Mm-hmm. And as we said, I could change my name. But when I think what he brings to me was a sense of possibilities. Yeah. That we have possibilities.
Yeah. Possibilities is such a good word for him. I can actually I can see him wear a brand of honor. He also wrote an amazing book, which was called "What's the Story? What's Your Zip Code Story?" And it's also was on the bestsellers list. So you guys could hang out together as bestseller guys, and I'll just be one of your fans. But my word for him is open, right? I feel like he's never gonna hide what he's gonna tell me, and he helps create open conversation when I'm with him, right? So I just can't say enough about him. Yeah. Well, anyways, you know what? This was fun reminiscing about our fantastic guests.
So what's your word for me, Laurel?
Oh, my word for you.
Yeah.
Frickin' fantastic.
You can use brilliant if you want to.
I was going to say, okay. It's a frickin' dash fantastic. That's actually a Canadian word.
Okay.
Yeah. And every time
I
get to know that I'm going to hang out with you, I get giddy like a schoolgirl, because it's just so much fun. Yeah, so much fun. Mm-hmm.
Back at you. Yeah. So, and you know your word that I articulated that last year. I may have to come up with a new word.
Speaking of new words.
Provocative.
Speaking of new words, we have a new season because it was such a success, Ed. Can you believe it? People actually like us.
We got renewed?
Yeah, it's so weird.
Holy cow.
Yeah. So we're excited about
now
this next season.
Now I'm getting nervous.
You should, because we're going to have even more fantastic guests like we've had for the last season. And it's going to be even more provocative, a lot more challenging, curious, all of that stuff. So really excited about it.
No, I'm like, I won't leave this seat, because I look forward to what we've done and the conversations we've had, and anticipating and mostly I look forward to how you're going to put me on the spot. And,
I can't wait.
Basically,
because I will. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Ask questions that we didn't plan at all, but I think we handled that whole what word would we use to describe our guest pretty well, though.
Well, I was impressed how on the spot you were. I think you did pretty good. Bravo.
Good.
Well, you know what? Until next time, I look forward to season 2 with you on the Mission Driven Leader. Catch you later.
Sounds good, Laurel.
Thanks for listening to the Mission Driven Leader podcast presented by TaleoConnects.com. Be sure to subscribe to the podcast and leave a review wherever you listen to the show.